Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Jeremy from Randolph Running Club, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Nike Flex Experience Run 8. Right after this. Alright guys, thank you so much for making it through that intro clip there. That is from a run that I did on Wednesday morning in the Nike Flex Experience Run 8. It was 3.41 miles at a 9-minute 36-second pace. Just a nice and easy, free-flowing run just to kind of get the legs moving in between two speed days and make sure that I was actively recovering during that day. So yeah, just jumping straight into it. You're here. You want to learn about the Nike Flex Experience Run 8. That is such a mouthful. Let's call these the Experience 8s or something like that from here on forth. But these shoes, you probably are looking into these as like your first pair of running shoes or a pair of gym shoes or something like that. You saw the price. I think that they're about $65 to start. And you want to know, are these good shoes? Are these shoes that you can run in? Are these shoes that you can squat in, jump rope, just all kind of different physical activities? And I'm here to answer those questions for you. I've done some time in them. I think I've got like 40 miles in the shoes right now. And, we can just get straight into it. So the way that I like to do these reviews is I talk about the comfort, I talk about the versatility, I talk about the durability of the shoe, and last but not least, I talk about the value or the price of the shoe. And from here, you can kind of get a feel for if the shoe is going to be good for you, if it's something that you're going to enjoy, and does it fit into the lifestyle that you lead as far as an athlete. So let's start off first and foremost with the technical specs of the shoe. I will say that it was a little bit hard finding information for this shoe. I don't know if that's because Nike doesn't think that the people who are in the market for this care about such things, but this is kind of the base information that I could find was that the weight is 8 ounces in a US men's size 9, so pretty light shoe. This actually, I believe, is the lightest shoe in my current running shoe rotation. So we're starting off well, right? It's a very lightweight shoe. The heel to toe drop or offset of the shoe is 8 millimeters. So from the rear of the shoe to the front of the shoe is 8 millimeters difference in stack height. Now, for whatever reason, I couldn't find on Nike's website or any other different retailers that carry this shoe what those actual stack heights were, but I'll tell you, it's pretty minimal. So with that in mind, let's go straight into the comfort. Now, as far as the comfort for these shoes, I'm going to try to kind of keep my opinions on them towards the end, but you might see a trend here and you might see kind of where this is headed. These shoes are okay comfort-wise. If your primary goal with these is to work out and, squat, do box jumps, jump roping, maybe you run a mile or 2 at a time, these shoes, might hold up for you and they might be comfortable enough. But I would say for the way that I run in particular and the way that I have used them, I found that, the stack height is just pretty low. So you're not getting a ton of impact protection. Despite the offset, it almost feels like the shoe is almost like running barefoot, which, that might be something that you're into. It might be something that, you desire for the shoes that you wear. So your mileage may vary there. But I'll say, it's a very neutral shoe. I'll pick it up here so you can kind of see. I kind of use these as almost like a gym and travel shoe mostly. And you can see they fold up pretty good, sort of, and they twist and turn and everything. The shoe itself is definitely pretty just flexible. There's not a ton of support there, so if you do need any additional support for overpronation or underpronation, for instance, you're just not getting it here. This is a bare bones, straightforward shoe with minimal stack height and minimal support added into it. I will say one of my favorite things about the comfort of the shoe, however, is the actual upper itself. It's kind of a like an engineered mesh, it looks like, and it just really conforms to the foot really well. Even more so than the jacquard mesh in my Asics or the Flyknit in my various other Nike shoes. I have found that this upper is so great at dispelling water. So every single time that I've worn these, no matter how sweaty I get, or if I'm running in the rain or whatever it is, pardon me there, I just find that these shoes, you know, they get rid of that moisture very quickly. And even if you wore these without socks, you know, they just still feel comfortable on your feet, which is really saying a lot, honestly, for especially considering the price, which we'll get into a little bit later. But now I'd like to talk about the versatility. As far as versatility is concerned, you know, I'm saying things like, is this shoe capable of going on a short distance run at a high speed, a long distance run? Could you do an interval where you're kind of mixing up different paces? And I can just tell you flat out right now, it's not the most versatile shoe. I think it's probably the best if you're going to be doing short runs, kind of regardless of the pace. It's really lightweight, so that's nice. I mean, if you want to pick up the pace and really kind of gun for it, this shoe won't be holding you back. But it's just the thing where it kind of starts to fall apart is when you start adding more mileage. So for your own kind of benefit, you know, I've taken these on runs that I normally would not take them on. Typically I wear them to run about 1 mile to 2 miles before I get into like another workout, like an actual strength training circuit, or if I'm about to hop on my bike or something like that. But I have taken these shoes on up to a 6 mile run at my kind of like 10K pace. And, you know, I'll say it wasn't bad. It felt okay. The shoe was comfortable. There wasn't a ton of support or cushion, so I think I kind of felt it towards the end of the run. My legs felt more beat up at the end of that 6 mile run than they would normally feel if I was wearing something that had more protection from the ground. But with that being said, the pace was fine, the shoes felt great, the transition from heel to toe was phenomenal, and you really feel like you're just, you know, basically running barefoot, which I feel like is definitely the point of this shoe. So as far as that's concerned, you know, I would say versatility just isn't that high in the sense that there's just not enough protection from the ground contact for you. So if you're going to be somebody who's, you know, considering adding miles, if you're training for a 5K, 10K, half marathon, there's no way that these are going to hold up for you. So if you have any aspirations on doing that, I wouldn't necessarily go for these shoes. Just because I would say, you know, I'm 6'4", like 205, so I'm not a small guy by any means, and these shoes just don't have enough impact protection for my joints. When I did that 6 mile run and everything, you know, I definitely felt like I had a little bit of shin discomfort the next day. I could only imagine how my knees would feel if I solely ran in these shoes and wasn't kind of rotating them with other ones. So keep that in mind if you're considering buying these for your only pair of running shoes and you plan on doing more than just a 1 mile run at a time or something like that. So let's hop into durability, topic number 3 here. You know, as far as durability, I will pull the shoe out here and see if you can see this here clearly in the video. So this is the wear after, I think I've run 40 miles in these shoes, and I typically wear them for gym focused workouts and things like that. And you can see that there's actually a lot more wear than you would expect, especially at that forefoot and toe-off area. I don't typically see that much wear in the toe-off area or the toe box, but it's there. And, you know, I found that kind of alarming. If these were the only shoes that I was running in, they already have no grip, and I've been running in them for maybe 4 months, 5 months, give or take. So I feel that they'd wear down, almost disposable, if you will, from a durability standpoint. You know, like this seems like a shoe that if you were running in it seriously, you would probably need to replace more frequently than a typical shoe. I would have to say that my durability prediction for this is definitely well under 200 miles. Even now, I can feel the ground more so, even more than I could initially with the shoe, which is telling me that that midsole is kind of giving up the ghost a little bit and is starting to wear down a little. And on top of that, as I mentioned, the grip is starting to diminish a little bit as well. And that's after 40 miles. And granted, I know I've done other things. Like I said, I've done actual workouts and things like that in the gym, or just, you know, my front driveway right now, pandemic, right? But point of the story, these shoes, the durability seems pretty low. I would honestly hazard to say that I think if you're looking from a purely running standpoint and thinking about the mileage that the shoes can actually go long term, we're probably talking 100 to 150 miles tops if all you did was run in them. And if you start adding other stuff, then, you know, significantly you'd have to scale that. Yeah, so there's that. And then last but not least, we have to talk about the price, right? So we got to talk about value. I think, you know, a lot of people, the siren song for these shoes is that I think the full price, and there is a newer model now, there's a Flex Experience 9, but I believe the starting price is $65 or $60, something like that. I think I got these for $45, which on the face of it is a really good price, right? So you're thinking, this is a running shoe that I can do all my workouts in, and maybe I'm just a beginner, I'm just starting. This is a great deal. I don't know if I'm even gonna like this, but I can tell you right now, if that's the only reason you're buying this shoe, you might end up being disappointed, and it might actually turn you off from running in the first place. So if you buy these and you get injured, or they wear out really quickly or whatever, you're gonna say, oh, see, running's so stupid, it's expensive, or I get hurt or whatever, and that's gonna deter you from wanting to actually go out there. So I would say, if you're in the market for these, try to pick up, you know, last year's more flagship-ish Nike instead. So, you know, instead of buying these for $65, pick up the Nike Epic React Flyknit 2s that I reviewed for, you know, maybe 70 some odd dollars, or if you're lucky, you can get them on sale even cheaper than that. Or buy the Nike Pegasus 36 from last year, now that the 37 is out, which I can tell you is a much better shoe, will last a lot longer, and you can still work it out with it in the gym and do other things like that. And that's a shoe that you can pick up for a similar price point if you look hard. Definitely if you want to shop on eBay or something, or Zappos or whatever. But I would just say those would be shoes that I would recommend before. I run in the Odyssey React Flyknits as well. Those can be had for a similar price. So I mean, if you see what I'm saying here, if the difference between you buying one pair of shoes is, you know, $10 to $15, for the price that these cost, I just don't think it's really worthwhile. I think it's better to invest in yourself and invest in your body so that you can enjoy running and actually build that hobby, build that habit up. So that's kind of my 2 cents there. They are in my running rotation. I do wear them every once in a while for like a really short run. When I lived in New York, I lived about half a mile from, my gym in Flatbush. So what I would do was I would run to the gym in those shoes and back. So I get like a mile, you know, every time I went to go work out. But they were almost like my gym commuter shoes. Or if I'm traveling and I know I'm only going to be able to run on the treadmill and things like that, I'll pack those shoes with me because they're just really easy to bring. And, you know, they're black and white, so it's like they can match with whatever outfit and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I would definitely recommend other shoes within Nike and other brands as well, for just a little bit more money, to really make sure that you're maximizing your potential and allowing yourself to have the best time as a runner and a new runner that you possibly can. So those are my thoughts there. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you have these shoes or you've run in them and you don't feel how I felt, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Or even if you do feel how I felt, you know, put it in the comments. I'd love to chat with you. But that's all I have about the Nike Flex Experience 8s. And this honestly applies to the previous models from this shoe and the 9 as well. They're very similar. They didn't change anything with the midsole really. So yeah, that's that. If you like what you saw, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. But in the meantime, stay blessed, inspire others, and stay safe out there, guys. Have a great one.